Blythe Whealy here on the red carpet. Exciting to break into the documentary short segment of this red carpet. But Ballard Spahr, of course, is our sponsor this year. But who is standing next to me? None other than Jim Brandenburg. And he gets to play himself in the film that we'll be talking about, Wolf Spirit. So Jim, thank you so much for being here.
Well, Blythe, nice to meet you, and I'm happy to be here too.
Well, this is fun. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of this film. Of course, Wolf Spirit. Can you tell me a little bit about why this documentary, why you guys wanted to get into making this and showcase the wolf spirit?
Well, I've spent most of my life working for National Geographic, adult life, making movies and working for the magazine, and the wolf has always been a strong subject of mine. Growing up in Minnesota, of course, it's one of those elusive and difficult to photograph animals, so I moved to Ely and lived with the wolf pack, and then went up to the Arctic and did a wolf movie for National Geographic, and that's many, many years ago. And then one day, Julia Huffman, an actress in Los Angeles, called me, and with her very beguiling voice, talked me into working with her on this movie. And so I was a subject, I was a filmmaker, and an advocate all in one. So I tried to squeeze it into a nice focused movie, and
that's so fun. Well, so for you, so when you're thinking about the wolf spirit and specifically the wolves, so is that something that has kind of been a true passion of yours, or what else? Obviously, working with National Geographic is so open-ended. So what does that look like for you? Is that something that you are specific, or is there another type of documentary maybe you hope to do with other animals?
I've done a lot on the prairies, the vast Great Plains, but I've always thought the wolf is the most persecuted and least understood animal in the world, not just Minnesota. It's very controversial here. You either love them or you hate them.
Yes.
And I felt they needed a voice. Mm-hmm. And of course, who doesn't love a dog? And all dogs come from the wolves. And so it seemed like a great story. And I did 2 or 3 best-selling books on the subject, Brother Wolf, White Wolf. And my first movie actually was premiered at the Sundance Film Festival. So wolves have been good to me. Been very good to my career, and I just want to give something back.
That's so neat. So when you're spending so much time out there capturing these wolves, what do you feel like you've learned, I guess, about them, and what's something that you want to make sure that people overly take away from this film?
Well, the Native Americans called him their teacher. It's interesting that they had no bad stories or no negative connotations to the wolf until we came. Then we adopted some kind of old mythology from Europe. But the Native Americans always embraced the wolf as a teacher. Out west, they put them high on the totem pole, and the local people here, the native people, always had extremely high regards for them. And you'll see it in the movie, of course. They're like a family, like the human family. There's a mother and a father, and the siblings all work together. It's like a very tight family. They say it's close to the primate family, the canid relationships.
So when we talk through maybe certain days on set, were there different days that you're like, I know what I captured today is the gold, the heart and soul of this movie, and you felt really good about maybe that day on set? Was there a specific time maybe that you felt that?
Well, Blythe, the footage in this movie was acquired over many, many, many years. It's one of those situations you can't go out on assignment and you have to live with the wolves. So it's over many years. You capture a little bit here, a little bit there, but there are days that you see something that you wait. People will say, how long did it take you to get that shot? And I'll say 10 years.
Yeah.
Because you literally have to wait, and you have to do it alone. Now, I'm a subject in the movie, too, so the film crew came and filmed me kind of faking it, going around in the woods skiing. But this is a story that happened over many, many years in the wolf footage. And the film crew was there just a few days with Julia directing it. So filmmaking is a lot of illusion that really speaks to the truth.
Yeah. So when you look at this film and getting to work with Julia and being on set, I guess, what is something maybe that you're looking forward to that you took out of this one that you're hoping to do maybe in another one in the future?
Well, we learn. You're never done learning. In some ways, the more you know you don't know. Filmmaking is becoming so complex. When I started, it was with 16 millimeter, And there were 3 network television stations, NBC, CBS, and ABC. And there wasn't so much competition. Now it's pretty daunting to see all this young talent with this equipment. I wish I could go back in time with the cameras and the lenses we have today. Stories were not possible to do, just in the technological side of it and the editing, the digital side of it. You can do it all by yourself. Back then, you had to have a major crew because of the weight of the equipment. And the editing was a whole separate with film. It's very, very complex. Today it's more complex in some ways, but you can do it alone if you want to.
So when you're spending so much time away and with the wolves, how has your family maybe supported you throughout this venture?
Well, I'm glad they're not here today. They tell the other side of the story. It's very difficult when you work for National Geographic. My children grew up. They come with me sometime on assignment, but it's challenging. But they're also very proud, I think. I've been very lucky, very, very lucky in my career. And it's hard to stop. I should be retired by now, but I feel like I'm just beginning. I'm making several movies in Europe now, where jet lag. I'm always on jet lag. I go back and forth to France and Italy quite a bit, and so it's. But you know, Minnesota is very special.
It's true.
It's very, very special, as you know. You grew up here too, didn't you? Yes, and so that we got a beautiful day outside, a classic Minnesota fall Indian summer. And a lot of people would rather be outside, but I think your attendance is going to be very good today. That speaks highly of your ability to draw the people into this great film festival.
Yeah, so when I guess maybe you got the word that it was screening here, what was that like, that news, knowing that you're going to come to Minnesota and get to help show this film off?
Well, I wasn't supposed to be here. I was supposed to be out of the country, and then circumstances changed, and I just discovered just last night I was able to come. So I'm very excited to be here, very happy to be part of the film festival.
Well, we are too. Thank you so much for your time. This was great talking with you, and I hope you enjoy the festival. Glad we got to have you instead of some other country, but maybe we'll get to join you there sometime. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And good luck.
Thank you.